What is the outlook for Toyota this year with the new design, the new nose? Is that going to make Toyota better? Like, should we put more stock into Toyota drivers going into 2024?
I mean, we think so, right? I mean, you like these guys. I mean, we almost fly as much blind as the media does in their speculation on trying to figure out who's going to be good. Because while we certainly wouldn't change things if we didn't think it was better, this was the first opportunity that we got to build a car, and the rules didn't change on us right in the middle of winter. So everyone built their next gen cars, right? And right before 2022. But then we started cutting holes in the windshield and the back windows and shortening the spoiler and cutting horsepower. And next thing you know, everyone's like, well, this isn't what I submitted for a car. And so Chevy was the last to get the update in 2022. So they had the most up-to-date based off of the rules that they knew, right? And so then we had an update, to some minor things with the front of our cars last year. And then, with a new Camry XSE coming out on the production line, it was time for Toyota to do a complete overhaul, which is what they did. So we cross our fingers and hope, but we would think that certainly it would be better and more suited to the rules that we know.
He's the expert. I defer to him. When it comes to cars and parts and pieces, I know nothing.
Yep. Hey, they're gonna run this electric car this weekend, right?
They're gonna have a demo run, if you will.
That'll be interesting to see, right?
I saw it. It's different.
It looks different.
It looks very different.
Which that's fine.
But it doesn't. But it does actually have more characteristics to a stock car.
I agree.
Than I thought, because I didn't know what to expect. I kind of had an image in my head, but then I saw it. I'm like, you know what? That's actually not as far in left field as I thought it might be.
Yep, I agree. I think it's one of those things where we were like, holy shit, this was a year ago, maybe a year ago. A year and a half ago, they said, hey, we're thinking about doing a exhibition electric race during last year's Clash, right?
They were talking about doing a couple races.
Right.
And
it
wasn't
was
just
like,
one.
whoa, wait a minute. What the hell? Where's that from? But then, not NASCAR's fault. It's the OEM. They're all split on what is the future.
That's the thing.
And that is the thing, right? Is that we're not going to invest all this money in this if that's not even the future of driving
and there are
transportation.
And I got to be careful when I say this, because again, this is kind of going down a road I'm not 100% comfortable in, but like from the conversations I've had with folks on the OEM side, I don't want to say having second thoughts about the electric stuff, but they're having they're questioning maybe a little bit of like, is this the right thing? Is this the future? Is this something that's going to actually be around in what form in 10 years,
The challenge certainly is that it's starting to come out there's just not enough minerals. You can't. There's just not enough batteries that can be produced to go all electric, and so it's not actually feasible.
If it did work, would it help the bottom line of teams? Like, would it be cheaper to go this route?
I don't think so. I mean, I think all the parts would probably it'd be about the same. Everyone's, this is probably a little NASCAR 101, but I feel as though, not every team's engine deal is the same, right? They might be the same engines, but some teams pay for them. Some teams do not. Some people get more information than others as far as simulations and stuff. But you're looking at probably the most level playing field you've ever seen in NASCAR from an aerodynamic perspective, from a horsepower perspective. It's just a matter of who's got to pay for it and who does not. If it was electrification, you probably would have the same thing. Like, you got to buy the components and Team A does not. And that's just because the manufacturers only have so many resources that they can give away. And they do that to their top flight teams.
I think this is so overblown, this whole thing, because it's like the fans are being triggered by imagining Formula E
Oh, I know.
and the golf cart sounding stuff, and it's very disorienting with no sound. And I cannot envision a scenario where NASCAR goes, yeah, we're going to have cars run around with no sound. Like, it sounds like they went to Japan and saw these hydrogen
They did.
powered cars race, and they had a real engine sound. And they, in this preseason briefing we had with them, they seemed much more interested in doing that with whatever they use, for an SUV series or whatever it's going to be, than having an electric. I mean, I think this electric one is what they have now, but like, I wouldn't, if you're a fan that's like, oh my gosh, the day they go silent is the day I leave NASCAR. Like, yeah, I think they would agree with you. They don't want that.
Right. Yeah.
Especially
for
for
sure.
Le Mans, like they got all the feedback from Garage 56. These cars are loud. That's America. And they're like, yeah, we are,
What were you going to say, Jordan?
It just feels like this is late to the thing. I mean, if this would have been 5-6 years ago, this is probably when you should have really pushed it. Now it feels like if you go down this road, you're getting into the party late, and the party's gonna be dead.
Yeah, for sure. And again, nobody wants to speculate and make that kind of investment on a speculation of what is the actual future of transportation. Like, I hate to even say driving now, because I don't know. We're supposed to have flying cars by now, is what I was told in 1995, but we don't. So I don't know. I mean, we're liable to be just driving around these combustion engines for the next 50 years. Who knows?
If you go to electric, you can just put a bunch of panini cards in the spokes, and you'll be all right.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. When you kind of digest this whole Chastain Larson thing, you definitely have to go back earlier